And welcome back to this episode of YCSO Behind the Badge. I'm Deputy Trent Ferris, Public Information Officer for the York County Sheriff's Office. We haven't been on the podcast lately because we've had some technical difficulties with the audio, and luckily the people off screen have helped us with the audio issues. If you notice, some of our news conferences in the past have been kind of weird with the sound, but I hope this sounds great. She says it sounds great. Ryan, does it sound great?
I guess we'll
Sounds
find out.
great to us. Well, we'll have to listen to it afterwards. But anyway, as we always say in the past, if you've been a follower of the podcast, please go find our website, yorkcountysheriff.com. Sign up for Notify Me alerts. And you're probably going to watch this on Facebook and YouTube and X, but we're also on Instagram and a couple other social media pages. We're on all of them. We may not post on all of them, but we do post regularly on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. And so hopefully we'll be able to communicate with you so you can get all the right information at the right time so you can make right and informed decisions. So we've been meaning to do this podcast for a couple of weeks now, but because of all the issues we've had, I finally reined them in. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but we couldn't just work it out yesterday. But this is Sergeant Ryan Quinn. He's their sergeant over the traffic enforcement unit, and everybody knows that traffic is horrendous in York County in certain places. Lake Wiley, Fort Mill, looking at you. But he can't do anything about the traffic flow. Those are your government officials that can help.
Right. I'm definitely not an engineer.
Yeah, you're definitely not an engineer. Yeah, let's go push that over there closer. But before we get into why we're really going to talk about this, what are some things folks could do to help minimize that traffic headache that they have? I'm talking about road rage.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing you can do is pack your patience.
Yeah.
Leave early. Give yourself more time than you anticipate.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Just yesterday, my wife and I had to go to Pineville. We live down in Rock Hill, and it took us an hour to get there to Pineville, right?
Yeah.
From Rock Hill we left the house at 7 o'clock, and we didn't get there till after 8.
Which direction did you go? 485 or like
45?
51?
Yeah, but we had to go up 77, 45. And it's crazy. I remember, when I started a little over 10 years ago, it wasn't nearly as bad.
Yeah.
You'd start your shift at 6 a.m. and there'd be hardly any cars on the road. But now at 6 a.m., there's all kind of cars on the road.
And I know we always get random. It's not as often as it was a couple of years ago, but we do get some random calls about people who were just angry on the road.
Yeah.
Like
we'll get them every day.
Yeah. It used to be a couple a day. Now it's like almost like maybe one-ish a day where somebody's being aggressive on the road. Sometimes somebody like flashes a gun at somebody on the road. That kind of stuff.
We had one happen yesterday.
So, what folks could do is just calm down. Yep. If you are the person who is being road raged against, just slow down, get away from that person. Let them go, right?
100%. Get away from them, turn off. It's not worth, escalating the situation and potentially losing your life over, right? You only get one chance at this thing, so why lose it over something dumb?
Right. So remind everybody that the traffic enforcement unit, as of right now, is just 3 full-time guys for the entire county of York, 600 and some odd square miles of roads.
Yeah, so it's me and 2 others, and one of those is assigned to our DUI grant, so he only works night shift 4 days a week, every Wednesday through Saturday night, 4 to 2. Yeah. So it's just me and another guy working mostly. We do work some nights, but it's mostly day shift. And 2 people covering the whole county, and on top of that, have to do things like this and other and other administrative duties that I have gotten assigned over the years, and grant paperwork. It takes me off the road some too. So. It's a lot. We rely on other agencies, for their help and highway patrol, but they're stretched thin too. They work wrecks, and it's a lot.
I bet you money right now somebody's going to comment on this. Like, he's on the podcast. He should be out there stopping cars
I'm
on
sure.
161 or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
100%. You know, and I see their point of view, but also education is also part of my job too,
yeah,
not just enforcement.
right. So you go out and talk to folks, and you're
Yeah.
not just you, your team.
Yeah,
you all
100%.
go out there and talk to
Right.
folks about traffic enforcement. I know Andrew Brownfield. He's
Yes.
with one of the insurance companies
Yep.
here in town. He has a big teen driver safety event
Every year. Yep.
Every year, and you go out there and you help teach teens
Yep.
proper traffic safety.
Yeah,
and,
what to do on traffic stops.
Yeah.
You know, we bring out our what we call them drunk goggles, and we do a mock, field sobriety test on them. You know, have them put the goggles on. It simulates a, certain impairment level of alcohol. And we can kind of just educate these teens on, hey, this is what impairment looks like, and this is what it can do to your faculties while you're operating a motor vehicle.
So, yes, he's here. He's talking with me because this is part of his job. Yes, should he be out on the road right now stopping those cars? But, I mean, yes, traffic is his main job.
You're right.
You and Troy and Jordan, that is your main job. But you also have to educate the public
100%.
about things. And you're only 3, but our regular road deputies also
they do
traffic enforcement. Is it a primary, their primary mission? No, they go call to call, domestic violence calls, narcotics calls. I mean, people, whatever, you name it.
Yeah, and those guys stay very busy as well.
Yeah, and you'll stop and do stuff like that.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard you. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're in the area,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
go take a call too.
like
That's your primary duty.
Yeah, like I tell my guys, I'm like, our first job is we're deputies, right? So if we're in the area of a hot call, like I expect you to go. I would expect myself to go, right?
Like me.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, do I? I mean, I'm probably not always in the area because
Yeah,
I'm
of
mostly
course.
here in the office.
Right,
But
right.
if I'm out, I hear something. Yeah, that's my main goal is to get there and get somewhere.
Exactly.
So, Brian, we've had a couple of new laws pop up on the books lately, and it's a weird one. The previous texting while driving law, it was good in theory.
Yes, in theory.
In theory,
Yeah,
but
in theory.
some of the red tape, I guess you would say, made it difficult for people to enforce the texting while driving. Now we have the hands-free law.
Right.
That means don't be touching your phone when you're driving. Is that pretty much it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for everybody I know, but tell everybody at home.
Yeah, the former texting and driving law is super difficult to enforce. You had to observe, a person actually composing I can't remember the exact word. It's like an electronic communication, I think is what it is, like either email or text. But you had to see them actually on their phone screen composing, some sort of electronic communication, right? So it's very difficult to enforce. It was a $25 fine. You had to you had to observe it 100%. Like you couldn't be like, potentially, that was part of the statute.
Right.
So now we've gone to a hands-free device law, or hands-free law that basically says that you cannot have a phone supported by any part of your body while your vehicle is in motion.
Right.
So technically you can't have your phone in your hands, on your lap, doing like this, going down the road.
I've had people ask me that question. Can I drive with it on my ear? No, nowhere on your body.
The statute says it cannot be supported by any part of your body while your vehicle's in motion.
I have seen a lot of people have bought like the little things that you can plug into your vent. Like I have one that sits in my vent where I can put my phone there.
Yeah, I have one in my car.
So I guess one of the questions is while I'm driving, I get a call. Can I push it to turn on the call, or do I have to completely keep hands off? Is that all right?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
We're humans, man. Come on, tell us.
I think that the spirit of the law would be while you're driving to not be like this, or to have, staring down at your lap.
Yeah.
Or to being like this and completely distracting you, right?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think somebody's going to hem you up on doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wanted to make it clear because people are like, I can't even touch it. Might as well not even have my phone in my car. That would, in a reality, in a perfect world, that'd be great.
Of course, the preference will be to be completely, use your, especially newer cars, but even, I guess, in my was it 2016 car? You know, they had the
Yeah.
Bluetooth. You know, so you can just click the button on your, your steering wheel, and
Yeah.
you know it answers the phone for you.
Yeah.
You know, so that would obviously be the preference.
That would be the best thing. I mean, most cars nowadays have some kind of Bluetooth feature.
Yeah.
I guess more like older cars. I mean, I think early 2000s probably.
Yeah.
I know I had a 2000 something
Yeah.
6 and it didn't have any of
Right.
that. And so, I mean, you still have the speaker option on your phone.
Yep.
So if you have a speaker phone on your phone,
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be optimal.
Yeah, I carry 2 phones every day, right? 'Cause one, I got a work phone and my personal phone, and a lot of times I put my work phone in my top visor with the speaker out. That
Yeah.
way, if I need to talk on it going down the road, I can, you know,
Yeah.
without it being in my hands. You know, I will say, if it's part of the statute, there is an exemption for law enforcement while in the performance of their duties. We're trying to, you know, obviously encourage our people to
Yeah.
not. But there is an exemption in the law.
Because people believe what they see before they read anything. They
Right.
think, oh, hands-free, it means cops too. But there's an exemption
There
because
is.
we have a
Right.
laptop in our
Right.
computer.
Yeah.
We take phone calls all the time,
Yeah.
you know, because dispatcher will say, hey, well, there's a phone call somebody needs. And more than likely, our deputies are probably going to pull over
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and take that call.
Right, 100%.
Usually.
But sometimes,
Sometimes you're going from call to call, and you
Yeah.
got to take those calls.
well, sometimes you need to call your supervisor about something while you're heading to a call, you know, but you can't pull over right away.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, you know, those sorts of situations that, you know, that may or may not be necessary. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm encouraging my folks, you know, if you need to, just put it on your visor or something
Yeah.
like that. You know.
I know because we have had, you know, we post things up on our social media pages. We put things out about it. And the number one comment, and somebody suggested to me, this is an off-topic thing, somebody suggested to me we should do a podcast about just reading the comments we get on our social media pages.
Hey, that would be fun.
And then answering some of those comments, but just reading them,
Yeah.
how you would always read them.
Yeah, no,
I think
mean,
that might be funny.
I think we should do it.
If you think that'd be a good idea, put a comment in the bottom of the in the comments and see if
Yeah.
that's a good one. But yeah, anyway, we get comments from people who say, "Well, I see cops all the time holding their phone up. Why are they
Right.
gonna stop me when they got it up on their ear too?"
Right.
I mean, that's the exemption.
Of course.
It's the
I
exemption.
mean, read the statute for yourself if you don't believe us.
We have put the statute up there. It's there. You can put it in. What is the statute website?
Yeah.
house.com or
Right.
something like that.
You can look up any statutes on
Any
the books.
statute, any of them, and there are a bunch.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a bunch, and you could probably go look at it and read
be-
it for yourself.
I believe this one, if I'm remembering right, is 56-5-3890.
Look at you,
I'm
traffic.
almost positive.
Look at that. I mean, if you're on the traffic enforcement, you probably have to roll those off.
Ye-
I got a cheat sheet in my car.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I roll them off my tongue, but that's just one
Yeah.
that we've, you know, recently been dealing with a lot.
Well, that's another thing. You and your guys did
Yes.
a little low key operation up somewhere
Lake
here in
Wiley.
the county at Lake Wiley, and you did a couple of stops on it.
Oh yeah,
Tell us how that went.
Yeah, so it was me and one of my traffic guys, and then we had the shift guys go out because they weren't busy at the time, surprisingly.
Oh, sweet.
So we had 3 of them come out, so it was 5 of us out there working 49 in Lake Wiley, and within, I believe it was like an hour and a half, we had 25 stops between all 5 of us for hands-free violations.
25. That means, so you just like sat there and watched
Yeah, so-
people like on their
yeah,
phones?
Yeah, so what I was doing is I was sitting perpendicular to 49 in a parking lot that was kind of elevated off the road a little bit, and we got on a different radio channel, and I would be calling them out to people sitting down the road. I'd be like, hey, you know, red Toyota sedan just passed me, you know, phone in the right hand, and then one of the deputies would go stop them. So
There you
I,
go.
you know, I was getting a few stops, but I was mostly just calling them out to the others.
Right. And so, I mean, there was, and heads up in the future when you do another one of those, our new digital media specialist, Carson's going to go with you again
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and show that so people understand what it takes, how it is. And, I mean, one day I was, you know me. This is me. I'm the PIO. My main job is PIO. I am a deputy, but stopped at a stoplight, lady on her phone, and it was right there on Highway 5 in front of Northwestern. So there's a whole bunch of stoplights.
Oh, yeah.
So I just paralleled her.
Yep.
Just, you know, driving, looking. And then we get to the next stoplight. I hit the air horn. Burr, burr. She looks over and I just went, because there is a warning period.
Yes.
There's the warning period going on right now. How long does that warning period last?
Yeah, so the last day for warnings is February 28th. So March 1st will be the start of when we can issue citations. Obviously, it's not required. It's officer discretion, but we're giving you guys 6 months warnings. Warnings only is the only thing we can write right now. So, personally, if I stop somebody after February 28th, it's probably not going to be a warning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because you've had plenty enough time to know that and that's why we're doing the podcast today. To, again, remind people we are in a warning period because if you get stopped and you say, hey, it's hands-free law, saw you driving and texting or driving and Facebooking or driving and whatevering on your phone, it's still a warning.
Right.
You get the little slip out of your printer on your car, and you may get one of this little yellow, ticket book. I still have those. I don't have a printer in my car, so that's what. So that's what you're going to get it for, and so that's why we're just giving you some warnings because in January, here we go, because it's dangerous, and that's the purpose of. It's March. Excuse me.
Yeah.
March. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for folks out on the road because you're not focusing on the main thing you're supposed to be doing, that's driving.
And there's studies out there. NHTSA's published one recently that they're saying distracted driving can be just as dangerous as impaired driving.
Yeah.
It's maybe not exactly the same, but it's fairly comparable.
Yeah, because somebody told me it's like if you're down looking at it, we've done this in the past. If you're looking at a text and you're going 50-something odd miles an hour on the road and you take your head down and do a 5-second text, you have driven the length of a football field with your head.
Well, and I told people too, it's like even if you're fully aware of what you're doing, right, and you're going down the road, and this is without being on your phone, okay? You're going down the road, traveling normal speed, it still takes your brain, I'm going to get real technical on you, it's 1.47 seconds approximately for your brain to even register that there's something going on in front of you. Somebody stepped out in traffic. There's a car that slammed on brakes. Before your foot even hits the brake to try to stop. Okay, so there's all kind of mathematical stuff. That we can do.
I'm not a math guy.
Right. But you go a second and a half almost. Before you even hit the brake.
Even your brain has that time to think about, oh crap, got to go.
Right.
And that's usually that oh crap moment.
Yep.
And then before you can say oh crap, you've already hit somebody or killed somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That, and depending on how fast you're going, your car's already traveled, a many number of feet in that 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. So.
And just amplify that when you have a phone in your hand.
Yeah. People know, and people complain about it. People complain about people texting and driving. Well, guess what? Some of those people who complain are probably some of those people who are sitting there texting and driving and everything. It's just best to turn the Bluetooth on. If you don't have Bluetooth in your car, turn on your speakerphone. Get one of those devices that you can, mount your phone in. One of my daughter's cars, they don't have. It's old. It doesn't have. It has Bluetooth, but it doesn't have a Bluetooth speaker feature. So we got her one of those cup holder mounts that you can put right there, and it's good enough to where she can hit speaker.
Yeah, right.
Just like you said real quick, just turn it on, but she knows not to text and drive and all that stuff. And I hope she doesn't text and drive. I'd like to think of it as my dad that she wouldn't do that, but it'd be like trying to say, I don't speed. Well, everybody probably goes about a mile over the speed limit. So anyway, all right, man. Well, anything else you want to tell folks while we got you here on the podcast about driving and safety? Thanksgiving's coming up. It's the beginning of November. It's always a big travel season coming in here in November, December.
Yeah, we got the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving and Christmas, obviously. People are going to be traveling all over the country, whether by, car, air, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
We're just cautioning people, hey, before you get out on the road, let's make sure your cars are up to date, maintained properly. You got a full tank of gas before you head out. Some of the places that we might be going, are very cold out. You don't want to want to be out of gas on the side of the road, and rural Maine or rural, Ohio or something
Somewhere,
like
yeah.
that, no gas
Even
station.
just the 70 miles to Columbia.
Yeah. Sometimes you go a really long distance without gas. Don't risk it, especially in this cold weather. And make sure that you're not driving impaired. We could have a different podcast about that on a different day.
We could do that.
Oh,
We
yeah,
could do that.
we could. I could
Bring
talk,
Little in here for us.
I could talk for hours about impaired driving. But that, and be mindful of your speed.
Yeah.
Wear your seatbelt, and yeah.
Speed is probably another number one complaint we get. It's like,
Yeah.
where are the deputies when you need them? Well, we
Right.
need them. That person sped by me like I was standing still.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, we do get a bunch of complaints about people who have, like, speeders in their neighborhood or speeders on their road. You can't be everywhere. It's just
Right.
3 of you. And
Right.
deputies can't be everywhere.
Oh no.
So there are ways that you can monitor a road without,
Without people
you
knowing.
being there.
Yeah.
You have the speed trailers.
Yeah, we have speed trailers. We have stealth devices now where we can put on the side of the road to kind of gather some data, to see like when the biggest problem is, what time of
Yeah.
day, and what days of the week. That way we can kind of tailor some of our enforcement schedule around that. So those are all options. You can submit the online request. They all go to my email. I get
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I get.
I mean, you're
and
the
that's-
guy in
and that's
charge. That's why I do.
And that's another thing. I feel bad sometimes. I get so many of those requests in my email. Like I can't physically respond to all of them.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time.
Sure.
When I have to go out on the road too. I do receive them. I do try to get to them. I can't promise you I get to every one of them because I don't.
Yeah. Well, I don't
It's
want
only so many hours in the day, but.
Well, we're going to tell everybody where you can
Yeah,
do that.
yeah,
they're
absolutely.
They're going to load up your inbox
That's
right
fine.
now. So
That's fine.
Go to
Yeah.
YCSO.com, and then right there at the middle part of this page, and if you're on your phone, just scroll down a little bit, and these big blue boxes that are on the website or on your phone, it says traffic enforcement request.
Yep.
And then if you're scrolling on your laptop and you see the big banners go across, there's another. Click that big picture on there, and it'll also take you to the traffic enforcement request. And it's just a form. You fill it out, complain. He'll get it. He may not respond to it, but he'll get them.
I see them.
He does, and I get all of them. I
Yeah.
get everybody's emails.
Yeah.
So I get yours and
Yep.
like community events all the way down to everybody's emails that come across. So
Right.
I feel your pain.
Oh yeah.
So, but if you want him or his team to look at your road and make sure your road is, people are speeding and or not speeding, because sometimes those traffic trailers. I mean,
Yep.
we were
Often.
watching the movie The Rookie the other night. Some guy was throwing the baseball and it went up to 95 miles an hour on the baseball thing. I don't think that works, but that's that's not how those things work.
There's not enough reflective capability there.
But anyway, but sometimes people will see those and like, oh, let's see how fast we can go, and hit it. I mean, but that adds to the data.
Right. Yeah, and that's the sheriff has been kind enough to purchase us 2 of those, like I was telling you before, the stealth devices, so people don't even know it's there.
Good.
And we're actually getting good data instead of some skewed data that we had with the traffic trailers.
Yeah.
'Cause it definitely skews it when people are like, oh, let's see how fast we go, or however it may be when we have the big billboards out there.
Well, how about putting one of those on my road in the area?
I'll add it to my list. I can't keep a list.
Because I'm like the old Dos Equis guy. It's like, I don't stop cars, but when I do, it's because you've done something sideways in front of the PIO, who typically
Does not.
9 times out of 10 doesn't stop cars.
Right.
But, I mean, can I? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I? I mean, probably not, but
Right.
you have to do something
Egregious.
egregious.
Right.
But it's getting to that point where a lot of people are doing egregious things. But I've always told people, say, if you hear my call number on the radio, somebody's done something sideways,
Yeah.
come this way. So, all right, man. You said you asked for it. You're gonna get it.
All right.
We've done these questions before, so these are new ones. Big old, since you haven't been on the podcast in a while. So here we go. Well, this is one I probably asked you before. What is the best piece of advice you have ever gotten at work?
Give everybody a fair shot.
Yeah, man.
There
you go.
If you have any preconceived notions about somebody, just get rid of them. Especially if they're coming to your team,
Yeah.
or if they're, if you're going to their team, or you're going to a different supervisor that you've heard things about,
Yeah.
or if somebody's coming to your unit that you've heard things about, just give everybody a fair shot.
Get everybody a fair shot.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. Imagine you no longer have to work. How would you spend a normal day? Just a regular. What's today? Tuesday.
Oh goodness!
If you didn't have to work.
Well, I wouldn't have set my alarm for 5:45 this morning. I'd probably just been waking up, get me a nice cup of coffee, let my lawn dry out from all the dew. Then I go do yard work.
Yeah.
I go play some golf. I would probably. I'm big into aviation, so I might go sit up at the airport, overwatch, and watch the planes come in, land, and
Which
take
one?
off. Charlotte.
Here, Charlotte.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
They have a nice place up there in
It's
Charlotte.
very nice. I take my son up there sometimes,
Yeah.
and he absolutely loves it.
That F4 Phantom that they have sitting up there is from my ship. Well, not
No
it's
kidding.
from my ship when I was in the Navy.
Yeah.
They didn't when I was in the Navy. They didn't have F4 Phantoms, but it says USS Independence on
Yeah.
it. So I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, so I go do
Yeah.
that. I'd spend time with my family.
Yeah.
I'd probably do something involving some financial stuff. I like stocks and messing with
Sure.
that sort of stuff and stock market things. And I'm a big data analytical minded type person, so I like stuff like
That
that.
probably comes in handy when you're going through all the data of
does.
traffic trailers.
Yeah,
and
it
everything.
does for sure.
All right, what is your go-to TV show to watch at night? I know you have young kids and all, but I mean, you probably have zero time to watch television.
Yeah,
but
I don't
whatever.
watch that much TV, but goodness, I was a big Jag fan back in the day when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
I like
my wife was a big fan of that show.
yeah.
I got into it a little
and
bit.
it's still available. So I was actually started watching it again a few months ago, which I've gotten like through 3 episodes. But
Which is wild. Jag was Jag, and kind of spun off in NCIS.
yes, yeah, and
NCIS is still on
I
TV
was
with like 3 different versions of
I
it.
was a huge NCIS fan too.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I'd watch absolutely nothing involving law enforcement.
But that's kind of law enforcement.
I'll tell you this. That's federal, right? And that's a completely
Separate
Any
thing.
federal agent will tell you mostly that we do completely different things.
Yeah. But I know we've had a couple NCIS agents here to help us with a couple operations,
Right.
and I always ask him, and he goes like, "So, are you like Gibbs? Do you go out and like do murders every week?"
They're like,
and he's like, "No."
"No."
I think it was like we rarely have a murder. We have to investigate.
Right.
So let's go with this one. Since we talked about the hands-free law, this is a good question. What would it take to give up your smartphone for a month?
Not much.
Me too.
Not much.
If I didn't have to work, I'd probably just put this thing in a box during the day and just I don't know. Sometimes it's there. I use the flashlight feature a lot.
Yeah.
And then check the date and weather.
Yeah,
And,
I tell you, sometimes I really wish that I was born in a different generation.
Me too.
Because I think that we, as especially people my age in their early 30s, mid 30s, we've become so reliant on technology.
Yeah.
That it's been so ingrained in us that we can't turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that gets overstimulating. And sometimes when I go, I'll put my phone down and I won't look at it for 2 or 3 hours, for playing with my son or whatever it may be, and you're so refreshed.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I can actually turn it off.
We've been trying to do on Sundays, just have no phone Sundays.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just
Yeah.
I get I always get like texts on Sundays from like the, whatever from work, and it's like, oh, I got to pick it up because it's a text from work. So
I
whatever.
know. I wish I could turn my phones off. I wish I could.
Yeah. So with that said, turn your phones off when you drive.
Yeah.
From point A to point B.
And that's another thing that I can't wait to do. One day when I leave this place is not have to worry about my phone.
Yeah. Me too. It's always on me. It's sitting here in my pocket right now. I keep shifting in my seat because it's uncomfortable in this
both mine
pocket
right
of
here.
these fancy uniforms we've gotten. All right, buddy. Well, that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the podcast, listening to the podcast. We're all we do is try to get some education out to the public about things, and we're going to continue doing the podcast. I think our producer over here, she's finally helped us get it all worked out with the sound and the quality of it, and we're going to probably do some more. We're going to get it back running. Hopefully, maybe not every week, but most every week. We're going to try to get a podcast here to get some folks up. I tried to get Sergeant Gilbert in here. You were just talking to him to come down and talk about when you canceled on me yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we'll just do something else, and I'll get you in here another week.
Right.
We're going to get Sergeant Gilbert in
There
here
you go.
next to talk about Project Lifesaver. And everybody, that's something we need to keep in the forefront of everybody. So, but all right. Talk for a few minutes about something else while my computer logged out. So,
Oh yeah, definitely. I will be more than happy to talk to you about that.
traffic. Talk about traffic. Something traffic real fast.
Traffic. I don't know.
Be nice to you during a traffic stop. What folks can do during a traffic stop to help you?
The biggest things you can do during a traffic stop are pull over somewhere safe. Keep both hands on the steering wheel. If it's at nighttime, turn on the interior light when we walk up so we can see.
There you go. Sorry about that. Broke the fourth wall here because my computer timed out on me. I have to get over here. So anyway, there you go. Thank you for that last little quip because of the freaking technical difficulties. It's okay. That's the only thing I'm going to be remembered for when I leave here. Is like the guy who had his phone audio turned off when he was on out there doing a live videos. But anyway, all right, folks, remember, go to our website, go to the YorkCountySheriff.com. If you got a traffic enforcement request, go sign up or send those to him. He will get them. He may not respond to them, but he does get them. Also, go there and sign up for Notify Me alerts. You'll get the news when the news gets to the news. That's how we send out our news releases. When we have news releases to send out, it goes straight to your phone and email. Talking about phones, just don't look at it when it comes to your text message when you're riding down the road. And go follow us on our social media pages. We put up a lot of good content on there about education and the hands-free law. All right, folks, thank you for watching and listening to YCSO Behind the Badge.